Now, coming up on the Big Music Show this week, we'll be talking to Ben Glover about his brand new album, Shoreline. Singer-songwriter Ciara O'Neill will be here, and starting things off, probably the most famous band ever to come from Downpatrick. Ladies and gentlemen, here are Relish.
You set my soul on fire. Only you can take me higher. It was you that set me free. What was love before I know? It's like a wind that didn't blow, and you are all I need. I just have to let you know that maybe there's a place for you and me here. I just have to let you know that it's you I'm thinking of. That it's you I'm thinking of. You were born to be alive with the beauty in our minds and share it with the world. It's too easy just to hate and to throw it all away, just adding to the hurt. I just have to let you know maybe there's a place for you and me, you and me, like the sunlight breaking through a cloudy day. It's you I'm thinking of. Baby, it's you I'm thinking of, yeah. Let's all get together, 'cause this is what we've got. This is what we've got. I just have to let you know. Ooh, it's you I'm thinking of. Baby, it's you I'm thinking of. I just have to let you know maybe there's a place for you and me, you and me. I just have to let you know that maybe there's a place for you and me. I just have to let you know that it's you I'm thinking of. That it's you I'm thinking of. And let's bring it all together. 'Cause it's you I'm thinking of. Baby, let's bring it all together. Yeah, yeah. Yes, it's you, yes, it's you. Yes, it's you I'm thinking of. Woo, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. 'Cause it's you, yes, it's you. Yes, it's you I'm thinking of. Woo, it's you I'm thinking of. It's you I'm thinking of.
So there we go, a great song called You I'm Thinking Of from Relish, and I'm pleased to say that Carl and Kenny are joining me now in the studio. Guys, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, Kenny, tell us about that song, about the background to that song.
Well, it was just, we'd nearly finished the album, the first album. We were a couple of songs short, and to be honest, it was something that was written very quickly. Might even have been written in less than an hour. We didn't consider it as anything other than an album track, and the NR team heard it, and the head of NR said, that has got to be a single. We were like, you sure about that? And it really did very well for us,
Turned out to be one of your biggest hits, didn't it, in the end?
It did indeed.
Yeah. Great stuff. So, Carl, tell us all about Relish. For people like me who remember you guys from the beginning, we're talking, what, probably 18 years ago, maybe?
I'm not quite sure where to begin, Robin. I suppose as Relish as Ken and myself, we go way back. You know, we go right back to the very beginning, as we're brothers. I'm sure you've worked that out. So we come from, our parents are South African. They had an interracial marriage deemed illegal in South Africa back in the late 60s. So they came to Northern Ireland to start a new life, and the only thing they brought with them was a record collection of a lot of jazz, mostly jazz, some blues, some soul, world music, funk, and that sort of thing. And this kind of forms the backdrop of our musical knowledge and upbringing. And I started to play the drums at a young age, and Ken the guitar, and we spent most of our teenage years just playing together, forming bands around ourselves with various different members, based in Downpatrick, where Ken still is, and I'm in Belfast now. But there was a great musical hub in Downpatrick. A lot of course, we can mention bands that have gone on to prove the success of that little town, like Ash and The Answer, and going further back, Rosetta Stone, and there's still a lot of sort of old legends knocking around that town. So it was a great musical environment. Eventually, we kind of dug deep and got a sound that we liked. Around the late 90s, signed with EMI Records, and released a couple of albums with EMI to some varying degrees of success in particular territories. In Ireland we did very well, UK we did okay.
You were massive in countries like Japan, weren't you?
Yeah, we had some strange success in Japan, and most especially Indonesia. We were in fact in Indonesia this year for the first time ever, to sort of get a glimpse into what that success means in real terms, you know, for us. Eye-to-eye contact, and we played the Java Jazz Festival, and it was just staggering. It was unbelievable. That track I'm thinking of has taken on a life of its own in Indonesia, and it's strange. We have to finish the set with that one. Normally we'd slot it in the middle somewhere. Playing normally Rainbow Zephyr would be, you know, the track that Westlife ended up doing a cover of.
Of course, everybody remembers Rainbow Zephyr. You give it to Westlife, it became Hey Whatever for Westlife, didn't it?
Just another unusual request, but a nice one.
Yeah.
What was most unusual about it was that they wanted to tweak some of the lyrics. So it was one thing, Westlife themselves covering a track, and then another thing to change a few lyrics. But in fact, if you were to compare the two, there's probably about 5 lines, but importantly, that main chorus line, Rainbow Zephyr, is changed to Hey Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's the best thing they ever did.
Of course. So Kenny, you must have over the years seen some changes in the music industry from you were beginning way back in the 90s to now.
Well, certainly the formats have changed. When we were sort of doing our thing early days, CD was a big thing. I remember us having debates with the record label about trying to get some vinyl pressed, and they were like, no, it's gone. So, and now we're seeing a vinyl resurgence in the face of all this digital explosion. But it's an interesting time in the industry. There are some new labels cropping up, small ones doing wonderful things. The big indie labels are sort of struggling, let's say. The major labels are doing very well again. So it'll be interesting to see who fills that middle ground with what's coming through.
So you guys have been working on a new album, haven't you? Why is it taking so long to get this album
This
together?
is a great question, and unfortunately I don't have the answer for that one. Albums are funny things, you know. It's a moment in time you capture, and just at this moment in time we're very busy. And you know, music's just a part of our life right now, and you know, as much as we would like to have the album in the can and out, it just, for us, it's always the last 2-3 songs that present the most difficulty, because you want to close the chapter and do it right.
Yeah.
And for us, it's finding a place to do that and a way to do it. And right now, I don't think either of us will say, apart from the tracks we've already done, we're satisfied with that, but we haven't got a satisfactory ending to this picture right now. So once we get that, we'll get it out and we'll be happy. But what's really good about this period of time for us, normally we would tour for a while, get the songs built up, play them live, see what the reaction is, blah, blah, you know, the usual sort of process for rock bands. This time, the songs are very fresh, they've hardly been played at all. We're just going to release it. So it's really exciting because it's going to be as fresh for us as it will be for everybody else. So by the time we get out there and really tour it, we're still going to have that buzz about the tracks, you know.
All right,
So, yeah.
great stuff. Tell us about the next song you're going to do for us.
The next song will be Got It Made, which is actually a brand new song. So first time out in Northern Ireland. Here we go.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The first time hearing it. Here's Relish.
When I reach finish line and I can still catch my breath, I got it made, I got it made. And I can say no to the trouble, yes to the world. I got it made, I got it made. If I can reach out and touch you, and I can see your beautiful smile, I got it made, I got it made. If you can say I love you and I don't need it back, hey, I got it made, I got it made. If you can understand me and I don't have to say a word, I got it made, I got it made. If I can be the person that I was meant to be, we can see and we can be free. I got it made, I got it made. 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 Ooh, I got it made, I got it made. I got it made, I got it made. Ooh. What you already got, you know. What you already are, you know. I can see the light, I can see the light, I can see the light. Na 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 na. When I reach finish line and I can still catch my breath, I got it made, I got it made. When I can say no to the trouble, yes to the world, I got it made, I got it made. If I can reach out and touch you, and I can see your beautiful smile, I got it made, I got it made. I got it made, I got it made.
I got a trail of flawless loves haunting me at night. Their voices still whisper, making me shiver till the morning light. How many hearts have I tore apart without ever striking a blow? Some were angels, some were sinners. I'm not one to judge souls. Please forgive me. I know The sun sheds light on this hard truth. Here I'm alone again. The trace of your scent is growing more thin, reminding me it's the end. Please forgive me, I know not what I do. And all this time I thought it was something wrong with you. But now I'm certain, now I'm certain I done the hurting, I done the hurting, I done the hurting, I done the hurting.
So that's a track called Hurtin'. That's the current single from Ciara O'Neill, who joins me now in the studio. Hi, Ciara.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So tell us all about Hurtin' then. Is there a story behind that song?
There is actually. I've been going back and forth to Nashville quite a bit the past few years, and I wrote that song Hurtin' actually with a couple of local singer-songwriters over in Nashville. One guy is called Andrew Ramsey and the other is Alex Zimmerman. Alex is a young singer-songwriter in Belmont University, and Andrew is an absolute legend. He's won a Grammy Award. He has written for John Legend and Christina Aguilera. Wow. So I got the opportunity to write with them when I was over there one trip, and yeah, Hurtin' came out. It's basically from the perspective of somebody who realises the other person wasn't the problem. So it's kind of that realization that, you know, maybe the problem lies within, you know. So
what's it like working out in Nashville? Because everybody wants to be a singer, everybody wants to be a songwriter out there, don't they?
Absolutely. The Uber drivers, every taxi driver, every waiter, like they're all musicians, singer-songwriters. It's great, you know. I got a good opportunity a few years ago to go out and work with a publisher, and that was all through the Belfast Nashville Songwriters Festival, and I've just been going back and forth quite a bit. I played in the Bluebird Cafe, which is amazing. Obviously, you probably have heard of it. It's an incredible place. Music City Roots in Franklin, I've played there and just done lots of writing with lots of different artists, some starting out and some that have had 9 #1 hits. You know, it's just, and everybody is so open and friendly and humble, which is just so lovely, you know.
So you're out in Kansas City as well recently, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, yeah. So I went over to play at the Folk Alliance International Conference. The Arts Council gave me the opportunity to go out, so went out for a week, and the festival is 4 days, and I played 11 showcases in 4 days, which was crazy.
So tell us all about you then. How long have you been doing the whole singer-songwriter thing for then?
I've been doing this for pretty much my whole life. I mean, like probably 10 years, you know, that I've been doing like singing and performing. Writing my own songs, I've been kind of doing it since about maybe 2011-12. And I used to be in a couple of bands before then, but like recently just the focus is on my solo career and actually like writing myself, you know, writing the songs. And
did you come from a musical background?
I always grew up singing songs, was in choirs, got like classically trained vocally, did piano lessons, all of that. And then I kind of stopped for a while and I went into healthcare in university. So I did a completely different thing for music. And I'm still doing that alongside music, but it's nice to have a balance of kind of the routine and also kind of music, which can be a little bit crazy and you just don't really know what's happening with a music career, you know. So it's kind of nice to have both balancing.
So we heard the song Hurtin' there. That's the first single from the album Arrow, which is out now as well. How long did it take to get the whole album together?
It took about a year on and off. As I say, it was, you know, we were recording the album in between, you know, working, so it was kind of weekends and evenings here and there. We started November 16 and then we finished November 17, so it took us about a year on and off.
And you had the big launch in Belfast recently.
Yeah, we launched it as part of the Cathedral Quarter Arts Festival, and that was in the Belfast Barge, which is a beautiful venue. It is just stunning.
I believe you're off to London soon.
Yes, so I'm kind of doing a little album tour at the minute. We've done Westport and Dundalk, and we're going to be doing Bangor as well, and then London next week. So that's going to be in the Green Note in Camden.
Right, lovely.
Which is a really lovely little folk club. I've played it before, so it's a really nice kind of small, intimate place.
And you're getting lots of interest and stuff from across the water, aren't you?
Yeah, it seems so. I mean, it's just like relative, you know. If anybody is if one person wants to buy a CD and they're over there, that's fantastic, you know. It's such a tough industry, and I'm just in it for the love of it, and anything that happens is a bonus. And you know, I've had some publishing interest, and I would love to kind of go down the avenue of film and TV, you know, sync license and that kind of thing. So that's something I'm working on at the moment. But yeah, just have to keep going, keep pushing forwards and enjoy it. That's the main thing. And
what about the rest of the year? What's in store? Is there any gigs coming up that we should know about?
So there's the calendar is kind of at the minute just the album tour, and then after that I'm just going to probably figure out another kind of maybe little tour. The album is released digitally on the 9th of July, so it's actually only out physically at the moment. So in the summer, I'll probably do another little tour to kind of coincide with the digital release of the album. And then there's another exciting little project coming up in September in Brussels. But I can't really talk about that. Wow. I don't think I can talk about that just yet. So yeah, so that'll be good fun.
So if people want more information about you, how do they do that?
You can go onto my website, KiraO'NeillMusic.com, and Kira O'Neill Music on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. So all of the above.
All right, we'll finish with the title track from the album, Arrow. Tell us about the story behind this song.
So the first time I went to Nashville was 2015, I think. And whenever I first arrived there, I didn't know anybody really. I had got a publishing interest at the festival, and I decided to go out, and I went for 3 months. And the first couple of weeks was very tough. You know, it was just a new place. I didn't really know why I was there. It was just just took this head spin and just decided to go. And I wrote Arrow on that trip, and it's just about following your heart and kind of not really worrying about the outcome, just kind of going with it. And I think for me anyway, like the magic in life lies outside the comfort zone, and for me I have to kind of not be complacent and like keep pushing forward and do things that scare you, because that's how you're going to grow as a person as an artist as well. So that's Arrow. That's what it's about. It's about following your arrow to wherever it leads you.
Okay, we'll have a listen to this. Kira, thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So here we go with the title track from her new album Arrow. Here's Kira O'Neill.
Give yourself to the arrow. Give yourself to the spark. Give yourself to peace and love and things that break your heart. Give yourself to the earth. Give yourself to the sun. Give yourself to everything that makes you wanna run. 'Cause my arrow seems to point away from home. Where it leads me, I'll never be alone. And my arrow places me here today, and I will listen to what it has to say. Give yourself to joy. Give yourself to pain. Give yourself to the moment, and things will go your way. Give yourself to everything that makes a wrong a right. Two wrongs won't make it easier or help you in this life. 'Cause my arrow seems to point away from home. Where it leads me, I'll never be alone. And my arrow places me here today, You can guide me by day, oh, and lead me by night. Oh, I promise everything will be alright. You can guide me this way, oh, and lead me astray. Oh, I promise, I promise, I promise. 'Cause my arrow seems to point away from home. But where it leads me, I'll never be alone. And my arrow places me here today, and I will listen to what it has to say, to say. Give yourself to the arrow, give yourself to the spark, give yourself to faith and hope, and soon you'll make your mark.
You know how it'll end before it starts. The morning sun surrenders to the dark. The darkness holds the night and burns away to another day. And you think you're in control of what you feel, and all she gives is more than anything you can dream. You lean into the beauty of the fall, don't feel the shift at all. She'll make you whole, she'll tear you apart. What you love will break your heart. When you tattoo the word truth under your skin, reminder for you not to make the same mistake again. That she's a fire that nothing can contain, burning through your veins. She'll make you whole, she'll tear you apart. What you love will break your heart. What you love will break your heart. Well, it's the famine, it's the feast. It knocks you off your feet. It brings you to your knees. It's the nature of the beast. She'll make you whole, she'll tear you apart. What you love will break your heart. Yeah, she'll make you whole, she'll tear you apart. What you love will break your heart. Break your heart. Break your heart.
Good song called What You Love Will Break Your Heart from Ben Glover, and I'm pleased to say the man himself is in the studio. Welcome.
Thank you, Robin.
It's been a while since you've been here.
It has been a while. I think it's been over 10 years, possibly.
It must be 10 or
Yeah.
12 years,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're promoting the new album. Tell us the story behind that song.
Well, that's the opening track to the record. I co-wrote it with a girl called Amy Speece, and Amy is singing on the song as well in the recording. When we were writing the song, we were talking an awful lot about Tom Petty, and we wanted kind of to write a song that was influenced by Petty, and that came out on the day of writing. So yeah, it's kind of, the message is those things that we love dearly can also be the things that can unravel us and can break our heart. And that's the double-edged sword with a lot of things, but that's the message behind the song.
So was Tom Petty a big influence on you then?
Yeah, massive. I mean, still hard to believe that he's no longer here. And one of my biggest regrets is I never got to see him in concert.
Yeah.
I mean, Petty always remained cool. He was always edgy. You know, other rock stars kind of went through their uncool phases.
Mm-hmm.
Petty just had it. Always great songs, great guitar player, great band, and yeah, massive influence.
So how did it all start for you? Growing up in Glenarm, did you come from a musical family?
There were always guitars lying around the house. I'm the youngest of 6 children, and I have 3 older brothers. They all messed around a bit on guitar, and my father played a little bit, but nothing serious. I think it was about 12 or 13, I just picked up the guitar and started playing it and started writing songs at that same time. So the writing and the playing and the performing all went hand in hand. I played my very first gig when I was like 14 in Glenarm. Like I had an uncle who was a professional musician, so it was always something there, but not, you know, it was, it just felt natural, you know.
What about the songwriting side? Did that come easy?
Looking back now, you know, I guess everybody who writes their first songs, they look back and go, oh my God, that was, you know, you're just trying to figure out what it is you're doing, but writing still drives me crazy, but I love it. I don't think anybody ever figures it out. Nobody ever figures out the art of writing. But it's the one thing that I still feel really challenged by, and I need to do it. Like, I mean, I think if I never put out another album or did another gig, I would still write.
Yeah.
You know, it's connected to my sense of who I am. It's how I navigate my world. I have to work at it, but it's still something that I need to do.
Yeah, and you must enjoy collaborating with other people as well, because on this album you've got everybody from Gretchen Peters to Ricky Ross from Deacon Blue, haven't you?
Yeah, collaboration has been a big part of my world in the past 5 or 6 years, and the reason for that is Nashville. So I live over in Nashville now, and more than anything, Nashville is a great city for co-writing. It's such a community of songwriters.
And it's not just country now. Everybody used to think of Nashville as just a country city, but it is, as you say, it's a singer-songwriter
Absolutely,
city now.
absolutely, multi-genre.
Yeah.
And that's great. It's an exciting time to be living in Nashville because you're right, it's no longer just country music. And writers from all over the world go there. So all kinds of styles are there. And I've just been very lucky the past 5 or 6 years to fall in with an amazing circle of writers, Gretchen Peters, Mary O'Shea, and then I connected with Ricky Ross via his radio show, and he had me on as a guest, and we just became friends. And Ricky goes over to Nashville regularly to write, so we write together. And I do love collaborating. I find it easier to write with somebody else in the room.
Yeah.
It's an odd thing because you have to be very vulnerable when you co-write as well, and so it doesn't always work. But if you find the right person and the right connection, you can go to places that maybe you don't go to on your own, and I just love that. I love that, the not knowing where two people are going to end up in a song, and it's better crack as well. You know what I mean? You're sitting down, you're having a bit of crack with somebody. So I do love co-writing, and it's something that I do an awful lot of, and it's important to me.
So how often do you get home to Northern Ireland then?
It works out. I get home about maybe 4 months of the year. Yeah, I come home now when I tour, and probably in Nashville maybe 3-4 months at a time, and then jump back here for touring. So I love it. I mean, I've still, my parents, my family are still all here, and you know, when you move away from a place, it also becomes more special to you.
Yeah.
And we're very lucky to come from an incredible place. Sometimes if you stay here, you don't see its beauty and its magic, but once you start traveling, you realize that we do come from a really special part of the world. Especially
when you're from Glenarm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky. I'm, you know, born and raised right on the Antrim Coast Road, and that stays with you. You know, if you're raised beside the water, I find, and you know, until I was early 20s, every day I got up and I could see the horizon, and that's one thing that I miss when I'm not there. It's more than the water; it's being able to see the horizon, because it just gives you a perspective on things. But it is beautiful, and the people, you know, we have amazing landscape. It's also the people from here. You know, the more I travel, especially in the States, everybody wants to connect with you when they hear the accent.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen for every country in the world. You know, we've got an awful lot going for us, and for me, doing a lot of traveling and touring, it's a big benefit to have this accent and to have these roots. So I'm very, very proud of where I come from, and coming home here, it refuels me.
Now you're coming back for this year's Dalriada Festival, aren't you?
Yep, happening on the 14th and 15th of July in Glenarm, my home village, which is going to be great. You know, it's funny, even though I come from Glenarm, I've never been able to go to the festival, so this is the first year I'll get to go to it and get to play at it. And
It's such a lovely surrounding, isn't it?
it's amazing. I mean, and the grounds of Glenarm Castle, and they're putting an awful lot of work into it over the past few years. They're turning it, establishing it as one of the best festivals in the country, and a great lineup this year. And so if the weather holds out, I honestly don't think you could find a better place for a festival. So I'll be there on the 15th, on the Sunday, the 15th of July, and looking forward to that.
So now that you've got the new album out, are you thinking about the next album?
Well, what I am thinking about is I have another band that I play with, a project called the Orphan Brigade.
Okay.
And it's based in Nashville, but what makes it kind of unique is that we write and record albums in kind of in odd locations. Our first album we recorded and wrote in an old haunted house in Kentucky.
Wow.
I mean, this place is an odd place, you know. And then our second album we wrote and recorded in 2,500-year-old caves in Italy.
Right.
So the next album we're going to actually come to the Antrim Coast and write and record it here. And
Excellent.
we're planning to do that in spring of next year.
Will you do one more song for us?
Absolutely.
What are you going to do this time?
I'm going to do a song called Kindness. And I think we're living in a period of time where that's a vital value that we need to be conscious of. I think if we were all a little more kind to ourselves and kind to other people, the world would be in a better state of balance, I think, you know. So I think it's an important message, and the song is basically just about that.
Brilliant, Ben. Thank you so much for joining us
Rob.
this year.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May you know goodness. May you know peace. May you know contentment. May you be at ease. May the road before you be soft beneath your feet. More than all, may this be true. May you know kindness. May kindness know you. May you be without anger. May you be without hate. May you be without jealousy. May you be without shame. And if the world gets lost in sadness, may you find a prayer of hope. But more than all, may this be true. May you know kindness. May kindness know you. More than all, may this be true. May you know kindness. May kindness know you. 'Cause even the beauty, even the pain will rise up and fall away. May you be with loved ones who hear and see what you feel. And may those you trust be honest and real. May your feet follow where your heart dares to go. But more than all, may this be true. May you know kindness, may kindness know you. More than all, may this be true. May you know kindness.